Good morning. It is Tuesday, February 7th, and today is day 28 of the legislative session. This Thursday marks the halfway point, so we are halfway done with this session, and there are a lot of really good bills that are currently moving through the process. I'm going to go ahead and just talk to you briefly about some of those key issues that the West Virginia Chamber is tracking and helping to push through the legislature. The first is House Bill 2882, which passed out of House Finance yesterday. That is a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Economic Development that is designed to help bring in Form Energy to the Hancock County area, particularly at the site of the former Weirton Steel Mill. So this is a really important investment into West Virginia. Form Energy is bringing cutting-edge battery technology, and they're looking to locate nearly 700 jobs in West Virginia and Hancock County. This is an exciting development. A lot of states have competed for this investment, and they've chosen West Virginia. So the appropriation that was approved by the House Finance Committee yesterday is part of that package to bring Form Energy to West Virginia. That bill will go to the House of Delegates and should pass the House this week. There has been a little bit of opposition, but overwhelmingly the support has been very strong for this bill. Should pass the House, then move forward to the Senate, where we expect it to go and cruise through the Senate so that we can complete this very important investment to West Virginia. We're continuing to see action on a number of child care bills. This past week, House Bill 3227 was introduced. That bill actually takes last year's Senate Bill 656, which was the prime bill of the West Virginia Chamber, and expands it a little bit more, which we're excited about. It's looking to add some additional options for nonprofits who have daycare centers to find a way to get that credit back to them, to incentivize them to continue operating and even develop those daycare centers. We also have two more bills that have yet to be introduced, but we're hoping to see them formally introduced in the legislature later this week. The first would take Senate Bill 656 from last year and change it from a 50% tax credit to a 100% tax credit. If that bill were to pass as introduced, what it would mean is that an employer who starts up a new child care facility would be eligible for a 100% tax credit taken over 5 years for the costs of starting up that facility. This would be last year's bill was already one of the most forward-thinking bills in the entire country, designed to create more daycare centers to help solve the workforce problem. This bill would even further incentivize employers to take advantage of that. The other child care bill that the West Virginia Chamber has given to the legislature to be introduced would basically be for those employers who already have daycare centers. We have a number of employers who already have them up and running, and the bill that we have introduced in would actually give a 100% credit on your yearly operations, and that credit would be taken against corporate net income for C Corps. It would be taken against personal income for any S Corps or pass-through entities. And for nonprofits, it would be designed as a transferable tax credit similar to what we did last year. But that bill also we expect to see formally introduced this week. Our lead champion, as he was last year, is Senate Majority Leader Tom Takubo from Kanawha County, who has really been somebody looking at this issue and identifying this as one of the key issues to solving our workforce problem in the state. We're also expecting to see some bills, a bill move in the the Senate Finance Committee today related to pass-through income and the SALT tax. That is Senate Bill 442. It is queued up on the agenda at 3 o'clock. We're very excited to see this bill moving, as this has been identified by a lot of chamber members as an area where, for next to nothing cost to the state, we can bring ourselves quickly into line with the tax bill that was passed at the federal level just a few years ago. Several states have already done this. Senate Bill 442 looks to do the same thing. Those are just a few of the issues that we are closely tracking in the Capitol right now. We have a number of bills that we are watching very closely and helping to manage, but those are just some of the key things that are moving this week that the West Virginia Chamber strongly supports. So again, as always, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, and we'll continue to go ahead and providing you some additional updates in the